Yeah, we back. Now today's gonna be a quick video. Today we're gonna be talking about the United Nations is calling for the release of President Bazoum, the overthrown president in Niger, who is currently still in captivity, currently still in custody. Human Rights Watch, this NGO based in New York City, is calling upon the military government in Niger to release him from captivity. They're calling for his liberation from custody. Now, before we get into it, you already know the album is out now. New album out now, Sahel 1816, available everywhere. Go to Apple Music, go to Spotify. You could even go to the homepage on my YouTube channel. It's everywhere, man. Enjoy yourself, Sahel 1816. Now, let's get into it. As you can see by the headline, the UN calls on the Niger military government to free the former president. Now, as you already know, the former president who was overthrown in a military takeover, President Mohamed Bazoum, he's been in captivity for about 2 years now, right? I believe he's been in captivity since the summer of 2023. And from what I can tell, he's going to be remaining in captivity for the foreseeable future, right? I believe that his diplomatic immunity was scrapped, right? They removed it. Therefore, he no longer has any legal protections as a head of state. As you can see, take a look up on the screen. This headline came out last year. The Niger courts scrapped the immunity of the deposed President Bazoum, which means that he no longer has the privileges or the authority of a head of state or a former head of state. He's basically equivalent to an ordinary average citizen in Niger at this point in time. And of course, with his diplomatic immunity now removed and no longer an obstacle, take a look up on the screen. The military government in Niger says they have evidence of high treason to prosecute the ousted President Bazoum, right? So now he no longer has the protection of diplomatic immunity. Now we can take him to court for high treason. Now let's jump into that article talking about the allegations of high treason. Take a look up on the screen. The military authorities have initiated the legal proceedings earlier this year, declaring their intention to eventually prosecute Bazoum for high treason and for undermining national security. Under house arrest with his family, Bazoum is accused of having spoken by telephone with French President Emmanuel Macron and the United States Secretary of State Antony Blinken in a bid to secure Western support during the July 2023 coup. So basically, the reason why they have accused him and charged him with high treason is because when he was removed from power, he attempted to contact the president of France. He attempted to contact Secretary of State Antony Blinken of the United States to basically come to his rescue, right? Basically, intervene militarily, restore me to power, come restore constitutional order. He basically called upon a foreign power to come attack his country so he can maintain power and remain in office, right? That's why they charged him with undermining national security. Now, of course, on my channel, I've been talking about the recent conflict between Congo and Rwanda. And just wait, the same individuals who've been in my comment section talking about how it doesn't matter to respect the sovereignty of another nation, it doesn't matter to respect your borders, they're going to be the same one in the comment section talking about the importance of respecting African sovereignty. Anyway, let's continue. Let's jump into this article about the United Nations demanding the release of President Bazoum. Take a look up on the screen. The military government in Niger has detained the former Nigerian president Mohamed Bazoum and his wife at the presidential palace in the capital of Niamey since the military coup back in July 2023. This month, the United Nations Working Group on Arbitrary Detention, an independent expert body that investigates cases of deprivation of liberty, found that the detention of Bazoum and his wife was arbitrary in violation of international human rights law and called for their immediate release. This was not the first time that international bodies have recognized the illegality of Bazoum's detention. In September 2023, Bazoum filed a case concerning his family's detention with the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, the Court of Justice, a regional court that has jurisdiction across several West African countries. The court ruled in December 2023 that Bazoum and his family were arbitrarily detained and called for their release. Now, like I said, the United Nations doesn't really have much leverage in this situation because, like I said before, his diplomatic immunity has been removed. So he no longer has the privileges of a head of state, right? He's essentially equivalent to an ordinary citizen in Niger at this point in time. And in the article, it said something about ECOWAS had demanded his release. Well, Niger, along with Burkina Faso and Mali, has already withdrew from ECOWAS. They're no longer member states of ECOWAS. So ECOWAS doesn't really have much leverage either in this situation. And honestly, if you ask me, it would be in the best case scenario for national security for Bazoum to remain detained for the foreseeable future. I believe that if you liberate Bazoum, if you allow him to leave, the first place he's going to go, he's going to seek asylum in France. And then he's going to begin working as an opposition leader in France. So no, he's going to be destabilizing the country from the outside. So I think it would be in the best interest of Niger to keep Bazoum in captivity for the foreseeable future. He's already proven that he has loyalties outside the country, being that he called upon reinforcements from the United States and from France. So obviously, this guy is simply a vassal of the United States and France, because his first emergency contact wasn't to contact his family. It wasn't to contact his friends or his associates or his business partners. The first person he contacted was the United States Secretary of State and the president of France. So obviously, this guy has dual allegiances. This guy is working for some foreign powers behind the scenes. So like I said, it would be in the best interest to keep him detained, where you can monitor his activities, monitor his communication, because obviously this guy is going to be a destabilizing figure if you allow him to leave the country. And I think one of the biggest acts of treason against the nation is to collaborate with a foreign power against your nation, right? When you collaborate with a foreign power against your nation, when you receive backing from a foreign power to advance the interests of a foreign power, whether that's a Western nation all the way overseas or a next door neighbor, you are a treasonous, backstabbing traitor, and you deserve the death penalty. And this goes for all nations around the world, even the United States, even in France, right? If you collaborate with a foreign power, they classify that under treason, under espionage, right? And in the United States, last time I checked, that is punishable by death or a life sentence. And the same thing for France. That is classified as high treason. That is classified as haute trahison, right? So listen, you can't be collaborating with foreign powers and think that we're going to allow you to leave the country and you're going to go to France and seek asylum in France and live the good life, live the luxurious life in France with your wife and your kids. No, no, brother, no. You got to stand trial for high treason. You got to stand trial for haute trahison. It is what it is, bro. So unfortunately for the United Nations, right? Unfortunately for Mohamed Bazoum, they don't really have much leverage in this scenario, right? Because the national laws, right? The laws of the state take precedence over these international laws from these international organizations that were set up by Western countries. I'm sorry to tell you, right? So if Bazoum is in fact guilty of violating the national laws of the state, which he is, then he should be held accountable for his actions, right? And due to the fact that he no longer has diplomatic immunity, then like I said, there's nothing you could do, right? He's no longer the head of state, Mohamed Bazoum. He is the regular, ordinary citizen, Mohamed Bazoum. Now, of course, Mohamed Bazoum probably feels betrayed by his Western sponsors. He probably feels betrayed by his Western backers, right? He did everything they demanded him to do, right? Because after the Western powers got kicked out of Burkina Faso and Mali, they looked towards Niger as their last bastion in the Sahel, right? Their last stronghold in the Sahel, right? Mohamed Bazoum, he opened his doors to the Western powers, right? He signed whatever contract they want. He gave the French access to the uranium for the next 50 years, right? He did everything they wanted him to do. He was the perfect vassal of Western interests in Niger, right? So he thought, man, I did so much for these guys, man. So in my time of need, they got to come to my rescue. Nope. They left you hanging, bro. They left you high and dry. Now, of course, they attempted, right? They tried to organize some military intervention on your behalf. They tried to sanction the military governments. They tried to close the borders. They tried to starve them out. But unfortunately, it didn't work, man. It didn't work, right? They came out on the other side and they still in power still to this day. So they tried, Mohamed Bazoum, they tried, bro. They tried, but unfortunately, it's only so much they can do, man. It's only so much they can do. And unfortunately for you, brother, I think my word of advice to you is simply get ready for your trial. Get ready for your court date. We got to put you on trial. You got to be held accountable for high treason. You got to be put on trial for haute trahison. It is what it is, brother. Get ready for your court date. Start studying them legal books. Anyways, it's your boy Nevercard Salim back in the building. Yes, indeed. Cash App in the description. Support the album. Album out now. Sahel 1816. That album is out now. Available everywhere. Support the channel and I'm gone. Peace.
Gotta go get it, I'm never waiting. Stay the trends and I'm innovative. Shorty, she on me, she said she love me. Straight to the top and I'm elevated. Straight to the top and I'm never stopping. Running my business, I'm enterprising. Where's that money, I get it fast. Stay in my lane and I hit the gas. Counting my blessings and make it last. Don't want a fraction, I want it all. Stick to the code and the protocol. Feel like a king and I'll never fall. Fuck up a check when I'm in the mall. Riding that German, I'm in a Benz. Plotting revenge, I don't make amends. Hitting that corner and make it bend. Up in the sky like commercial pilots. Keep it 100, I move in silence. Know we united, they can't divide us. Say that she love when I give her guidance. Told me she love me, I know it's real. Know they gon' hate, but I know the deal. Know they gon' hate when you so official. Paying my dues like I'm sacrificial. Handle my business so beneficial. Ride on my enemies with the miss. Ride on my enemies with a chop. Coming for blood, make them call the doctor. Coming for blood, I ain't showing mercy. Probably gon' kill me or try to hurt me. Probably gon' kill me, I keep it tinted. Bulletproof vehicle when I whip it. Came from the bottom, I really live it. Really, my life is a motion picture. Lately, I feel like the trending topic. Keep it authentic, I keep it honest. Up at the bank with a new deposit. Call me the boss and I pay the cost. Feel like a rocket, I'm taking off. Come to the crib and she take it off. Gotta go get it, I'm never waiting. Stay in the trends and I'm innovative. Shorty, she on me, she said she love me. Straight to the top and I'm elevated. Straight to the top and I'm never stopping. Running my business, I'm enterprising. Once that money, I get it fast. Stay in my lane and I hit the gas. Counting my blessings and make it last. Don't want a fraction, I want it all. Stick to the code and the protocol. Feel like a king and I'll never fall. Fuck up a check when I'm in the mall. Riding that German, I'm in the Benz. Plotting revenge, I don't make amends. Hitting that corner and make it big. Go. Never wait. Innovative. Say she love me. Elevated. Never stop it. Enterprising. Get it fast.